Last Iron Wrecker I've got on sale was this Iron Wrecker 03, the Urban Warfare Specialist. Good old box from JOYTOY for a classic mono-eye mecha design with shield and gun. What else do we need these days? This is my favorite box design, with a cool artwork and this showcase-like view on the inside. But I'm not going to keep it inside the box, for sure. There is nothing new on this front, Iron Wreckers all share the same packaging and this is no exception. The only surprise is about how many pieces you are going to put back in place. Weapons don't seem to have any issues, and so let's see what we have got here. Assembling it is not really difficult, with the hardest part being put in the flexible ammo belt that goes from the drum-like storage on the back to the shoulder-mounted gun in place. Every Iron Wrecker has a similar armament and design, so after a while you get used, more or less, to what to expect and what to do. And then you are pretty much done. Nothing else to do on the main body. It is quite resemblant to the old Iron Wrecker number 4, the first Iron Wrecker that I ever reviewed on this channel. We will see more in the comparison section at the end of the video. I love the color scheme. It suits its military purpose with no frills. You have shoulder-mounted missile pods that are not detachable, but give it quite a menacing look. Overall, it does not look super bulky, but it does not even look like a light reconnaissance type either. He knows what business mean. The shield is also another cool piece, simple in its design and color scheme, but with a nice weathering like the entire mecha. You are provided with a handle that you can plug in any of these slots, depending on what you have in mind. In my case I wanted to have the Iron Wrecker to wield it like a protection against incoming fire, and use it as a cover while responding back. Well, there is no melee weapon provided, so I don't see many other options anyway. You are also provided with a tiny servo arm with a yellow clamp for grabbing stuff. The Iron Wrecker 04 also had it, and can be useful, for example, to hold the shield in place, freeing one of the main arms. While the number 4 had to wield its monster gun with two hands, I don't see the same need here, so for now it is attached to the left leg, and then we will see. The number 3 has a nice weather paint job all around, with a lot of shading and chipping effects to give it the worn out look, typical of what you will expect from a machine that has been under fire for some time. This is my favorite look for my mechas. It is overall dark grey in color, but with a grit style. It is also quite flexible and posable, and not having to deal with a dual-wielded gun, it is also possible to pose it in a more dynamic stance. For example, as I said, I prefer to fire in a firing stance, and it works perfectly for this purpose. It will probably deserve some fitting diorama base in the future. I did not find any loose articulations or broken parts. Once it is posed, it stays that position firmly, also helped by those big flat robotic feet he has. And of course there is the tiny 125 pilot who has a nice bearded veteran look. He will deserve an upscaled version for 118 for example, but for now he will be joining my collection of Lilliputian soldiers. For the comparison I have decided to use the predecessor number 2 with its egg-shaped body and the number 4, which seems to be the heavy firepower variant for our urban specialist. Comparable in size and loadout as expected, and all sharing a similar design on top of which the different variants are built. You can exchange parts between them if you like, even if the different colors may not help in creating the most pleasant combinations. But by default they all have a great paint job with different color schemes, but also the great level of attention to detail. And also the same level of limitations, starting from the shoulder articulations that are really limited by the lack of butterfly joints. In addition, the fully articulated hands are nice, but too weak for holding the big weapons that many Iron Wreckers are provided with. Fortunately, the number 3 we are seeing does not suffer of this. Both the rifle and the shield are quite light, and there is no problem like for example with the big Gatling gun the number 4 has. Overall, it is a great choice if you like this mecha design. Having said that, I wish you a nice rest of the day trying to make it fit in your shelves.